Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Fat and Jolly, and today I'm doing another game review which you guys asked for by voting on my Instagram poll. The game I'm going to be reviewing today is Pokemon, not just one game but every game generally. It's going to be sort of like an information review, not really like an in-depth game review. There's a lot of game titles as you're going to see in a minute, but we'll get straight into it anyway. Pokemon is a series of video games developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company as a part of the Pokemon Media franchise. It is also a role-playing video game, but also a tactic game. It's sort of like, not hack and slash, but as I said, tactic game. It's mostly going towards sort of the strategy sort of side of it, where you have to use certain moves to outpower your opponent, etc., and so on. The developers are Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, and Game Freak, and a lot more. There's about another 20 more, but to be honest, they're like Japanese, and I can't really read Japanese. I can barely read English, let alone Japanese. The publishers are Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Most of them are Nintendo and Pokemon Company, if you didn't know it already. The platforms they've been included on, there's a lot, by the way, and there's a lot more after this one as well. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, the Nintendo 3DS, and Nintendo Switch. They've also been on Nintendo 64, I'm more certain. But yeah, there's a lot more, there's many more. So you can play it on a large variety. So yeah, so you can play it on pretty much every Nintendo console. So if you don't really have the problem with a variety of console you want to play it on, well, Nintendo wise anyway, you can't play it on like an Xbox or PlayStation obviously, but yeah. The earlier graphics were pretty good considering the time, but they had a graphical upgrade I think roughly in the 2000s, where they went from 8-bit to full 3D models, which is actually really good if you think about it logically. They went from like really basic graphics really, like the old Mario games sort of graphics, like 8-bit. But yeah, they kind of went really hard on the graphics quality and the gameplay, really pretty good. The first Pokemon game that released was Red and Blue. That's internationally, so like Europe and everything. But Pokemon in Japan was Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green. They all released on February 27th, 1996. The latest Pokemon that has been released was Sword and Shield, which came out in November the 15th, 2019 from more certain, which is nearly a year now, pretty much. I played it, I wanted to play it, sorry, but I mean, they kind of messed up the Pokédex. I'll get into that a bit more later on. As I said about the reason I'm doing this as a full review of Pokemon was because of this. I'm going to tell you now. I didn't even know this. Well, when I was researching, I thought, Jesus Christ, this is a lot of games. So yeah, let's get into it. So there is 32 main title games. So that means they're core games. They're like main story. There's 32. With that included of spin-offs, there's 122 games that they have done. That you can pick, well, that they have done and you can pick from. So that's 122 games throughout the whole of the time Pokemon's been out. There's 122 games, so you have tons of choice if you want to play any Pokemon game. That includes hack and slash, strategy, storytelling, puzzles, fighting games, so like Super Smash sort of thing. They had Pokemon tournament. Yeah, you have a lot of variety with Pokemon. The positives about Pokemon is it's hours of fun for pretty much any ages. You can kind of jump straight into it, but I'll get into it with the negatives a little bit later on. It's on pretty much every Nintendo console, so you don't really have to worry about getting it on the Switch or so on and so on. You can get it on pretty much any Nintendo console they've actually published. The negatives are that it's a role-playing and strategy game, or tactic game. This is a game for you. This isn't a game for you if you don't like it. Obviously, if you do like it, then it is a game for you. Obviously, if you've played sort of like trying to think of what game you put. If you like playing like Yu-Gi-Oh, like the card game or anything, then yeah, you should be pretty good with Pokemon. Pokemon's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, if you don't like role-playing or tactic games, then it's not really for you anyway. You might struggle to learn sort of movesets. That's the thing in the game where you have a Pokemon, it could be any Pokemon, so let's say Pikachu for example. You could have his movesets, but if you don't know how to actually properly use them, you can get pretty bogged down with it, and yeah, but you can learn it from like different websites and stuff, from other people on like forums and stuff, so you should be fine, but it is somewhat of a negative if you haven't played the games before. Apart from that, it's a pretty good game. It's fun, as I said, for everyone. You can get your hands on it on pretty much every console. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I know this is sort of a shorter review. I couldn't really get that much information about Pokemon, if I'm being honest. Apart from like all the games, but as I said, there's 122 of them, so I'm not going to list off 122. That's why I did the earliest one and the latest one. But yeah, so this is the end of the review, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to smack that like button and subscribe to my channel to support me. And yeah, don't forget to turn the notification bell on to notify you when I've uploaded. But anyway, guys, stay awesome. Peace.